Hi and welcome to Fictional Fantasies by RS. Thank you so much for tuning in to Fictional Fantasies.
I hope you enjoy the stories we share.
If you want to see more, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications, so you never miss a new upload. And if you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up to let me know, and share it with your friends who love great stories. Your support means the world to us, and it helps us create more content that you'll love. Chapter 5. A Night to Remember. Michael had been thinking about asking Sarah out for a while now, and he finally mustered up the courage to do so. One day, after class, he walked up to Sarah and nervously asked her if she would like to go see a movie with him that weekend. Sarah's heart fluttered with excitement as she said yes. On the day of the movie, Michael showed up at Sarah's house right on time, looking handsome and stylish. He had picked out a cool, casual outfit that made him look like he was ready for anything. Sarah couldn't help but notice how attractive he looked, and she felt herself growing more and more excited for the evening ahead. As they made their way to the theater, Michael opened up about how nervous he had been to ask Sarah out. Sarah was touched by his honesty and his vulnerability, and she felt herself growing more attracted to him with every passing moment. Once they arrived at the theater, Michael insisted on buying Sarah's ticket and popcorn. They found their seats and settled in, both feeling a little bit nervous and excited at the same time. As the lights dimmed and the preview started to play, Michael turned to Sarah and smiled, making her heart skip a beat. The movie was great. It was a romantic comedy and they both laughed and gasped at all the right moments. Michael had even surprised her with her favorite candy, which he had secretly bought before the movie. Afterwards, as they walked out of the theater, Michael took Sarah's hand and led her out to the parking lot. Michael turned to her and said, "I had a great time tonight, Sarah." He told her how much he had enjoyed the evening and how much he was looking forward to spending more time with her in the future. "Would you like to grab a bite to eat before we head home?" asked Michael. Sarah smiled, feeling a warm sensation in her chest. "I'd love that, Michael," she replied. They decided to go to a nearby restaurant, which Michael had heard great things about. As they sat down at a cozy table for two, Sarah felt a twinge of nervousness. She had never been on a dinner date before, and she didn't want to embarrass herself in front of Michael. But as they started talking, Sarah felt herself relaxing. Michael was easy to talk to, and they had a lot in common. They chatted about their favorite movies, books, and music, and Sarah found herself enjoying the conversation more and more. As they finished up their meal, Michael turned to her and said, "Sarah, I know this might be sudden, but I have to tell you something. I've had feelings for you for a long time now, and I was wondering if you would like to go out with me again sometime?" Sarah felt her heart flutter as she looked into Michael's eyes. She had never felt this way about anyone before, and she knew in that moment that she wanted to be with him. "Yes, Michael," she said with a smile. "I would love to go out with you again." Michael beamed with happiness as he reached across the table to take her hand. "I'm so glad to hear that, Sarah. You have no idea how much this means to me." As they left the restaurant, Sarah felt a sense of contentment wash over her. She knew that this was the beginning of something special, and she couldn't wait to see what the future held for her and Michael. It truly was a night to remember. Chapter 6. The Confession. Sarah was feeling a little bit lost. After the whole Ethan debacle, she wasn't sure where she stood with either him or Michael. She hadn't talked to Ethan since their argument, and while Michael had been texting her occasionally, it was clear that things between them had cooled off. One day, Sarah was walking through the park when she heard a familiar voice calling out to her. She turned around to see Michael jogging up behind her, a big smile on his face. "Hey, Sarah. Long time no see," he said, panting slightly. Sarah smiled back, feeling a flutter in her chest at the sight of him. "Hey, Michael. What's up? I was just out for a run and I saw you here. Do you want to hang out for a bit?" Sarah hesitated for a moment. She wasn't sure if she was ready to face Michael again, not after everything that had happened between them. but something in his eyes made her change her mind.
"Sure. That sounds great," she said, falling into step beside him as they made their way through the park.
They walked for a while, chatting about nothing in particular, before Michael suddenly stopped and turned to face her.